I actually feel a bit bad making this video, just because I once said that I don't really want to talk politics on this channel, since it's a Let's Play channel. But I changed my mind, since in my opinion, the American people deserve a president named Bernie Sanders, and they especially deserve the change he and his movement bring with them. So let me tell you about 5 things Bernie Sanders wants to change in the US that already work very well in Germany. By the way, brought to you by a German, so a somewhat reliable source. Number 5. Paid vacation days. To be honest, I was actually shocked to learn that paid vacation days are not guaranteed by law in the US. Upon researching this, I found out that actually many employers guarantee their employees paid vacation days nonetheless. But still, in the end of the day, you depend on the grace of your employer, and that is really mind-boggling to me. In Germany, every employee has the right to get 24 paid vacation days. That includes 4 Saturdays, so it's basically only 20 days, but still 20 guaranteed vacation days. The law that guarantees you these 20 days is from 1963. And what do you know? German economy didn't collapse because of it. Number 4. Cutting down interest rates on student loans. Bernie wants to cut down interest rates from student loans from 4.32% to 2.32%. In Germany, you get a student loan sponsored by the state, except for those who have pretty wealthy parents. You want to hear about the interest rates? Well, I can't tell you because there are none. The only thing you have to do is pay back half the loan. I repeat myself, half the loan. So reducing the interest rates on student loans by 2% seems actually like a pretty attainable goal. Number 3. Free colleges. This one is actually a bit tricky because the 16 states of Germany, the so-called Bundesländer, decide themselves if they give free college education or not. For a very long time there were a few states where you would have to pay for college education, and there were a few states where you didn't need to do that. But since 2014, there is no German state left where you have to pay fees to go to college. Did that reduce the quality of education in German universities? No, it absolutely did not. Of course, the 16 states in Germany now have to pay for the universities. But it is an investment into the future. Into the future of Germany. And I think the American people deserve the same investment in their future. Number 2. Public funding of elections. Now, I don't want to bore you with details how German elections work, so I'll just note that we don't actually vote for our head of state, but only for our parliament. But of course, similar to, for example, Congress elections, there are still campaigns that need to be run. So how are they financed in Germany? Well, first of all party members pay a certain fee to their party each and every month. Of course, that is not public funding, I know that as well, but it already takes out the big money out of the election process. But let's talk about the actual public funding now. By the way, the numbers I'm going to quote now are from the Federal Central of Political Education in Germany, so it's an official source. Every party that gains 1% of the voters' outcome in a German parliamental election will get 85 cents for each vote of this 1%. For everything above this 1%, they get 75 cents for each vote. By the way, they get this money yearly, not only when elections happen. Also, every party, no matter how well their elections went, get 38 cents for each euro they got by fees or donations. Now that is a bit flawed because, you know, donations and stuff, but it's not really that big of a deal, at least in Germany. Let's take the income of the party the left for an example. 37% is public funding, 41% are party fees, and only 9% are donations. Of course, parties closer to the corporate money have bigger donation percentages, but you get the idea, I guess. Number 1. Basically everything Bernie wants to change in regards of criminal justice. This one would actually be kind of funny to me if it wasn't such a serious topic. Because a lot of Germans these days actually say stuff like, "Man, I wished we had penalties like in the US. This guy would never see daylight again in the US." Or even worse stuff like, "We need the death penalty, this guy deserves the death penalty," and stuff like that. But what are the results of the very severe punishments in the US law? Are there less violent crimes because of the fear of severe punishment that may even include the death penalty? Well, according to nationmaster.com, the murder rate per million people in the US of A is 5 times higher than in Germany. So these severe punishments scare off nobody. They are actually of no practical use. So bringing an end to the death penalty, as well as investing more into prevention of violent crime, is a very sensible thing Bernie Sanders wants to do. And yet another aspect in regards of criminal justice is the better education for police officers and the demilitarization of police. Do you know how long it takes in Germany until you are a full-fledged police officer? I mean, why would you know? But I'm going to tell you right now. It takes between 2 and 3 years, depending on your home state. And I'm not talking about the big guns. Okay. I'm not talking about the big guns. I'm talking about your average police officer. Now in the USA, the time you spend in police education actually also depends on where you live. There are places where you get a 1 to 2 years education. But there are also places where you get a 6 to 16 weeks education. And that is way too little in my personal opinion. But it's not only about how long you get educated, it's also about how and about what you get educated. One of the most important lessons you learn as a soon-to-be German police officer is how to dissolve a situation without violence. In the year of 2014, German police shot exactly 46 bullets. 7 of them were deadly. Pulling your gun as a police officer is really your absolutely final option. And if you have to shoot, your number one goal is to make the victim unable to move with 1 shot. You actually get in trouble as a German police officer if you need more than 1 shot for that. So investing more money into the education of the police forces seems like a good idea to me personally. By the way, please don't take this as an insult. I don't want to insult any policemen in the USA at all. They have a very difficult job, as all policemen do. But the recent past has sadly shown that there are some major problems in the US police system. And changing that with starting off with a better education would make sense in my opinion. Okay, I think we're through. Actually, I could have mentioned more stuff. For example, universal healthcare. But since we don't have single-payer healthcare in Germany, but a complicated sickness fund system, I felt like I would only confuse people with the whole thing, so I left that out. But if you're interested, feel free to ask me in the comments about it. And in general, if you're interested how something works over here, feel free to ask. But don't ask about FTT. I'm still pissed off that we don't have it yet, even though it is promised to us for years and years. I guess our leading party and Angela Merkel know how to protect their lobby. But enough of me sulking about German politics. So I thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something, not only about Germany, but also about the question if Bernie's plans are utopian or not. I'll let you answer this question. A little hint, they are not. So, to finish this video off, I just want to say, please go caucus for Bernie. Please go voting for Bernie in the primaries. And now that I think about it, yeah, I should explain my motivations. Like some of you may be asking now, why are you even doing this? Well, actually, I have no business with American elections. I personally see that as well. And I don't want to interrupt your political process. But I made this video because of a very personal belief of mine. All people, not only Germans, not only Scandinavians, not only Americans, all people deserve a certain standard in life. And Bernie Sanders can bring this standard to you, the American people. So I'm not asking for me to vote for Bernie. I'm asking for you and your people to vote for Bernie. So, as mentioned, please go vote for Bernie. Go vote for the political revolution. Go vote for the real change in your country. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.